Hey, what's up everybody? Tony with Lido Loca, and I'm back again to talk a little more about Carnival ending the free room service. That's right, we started this conversation yesterday. If you did not see that video, I will leave a link above and a link in the description below, and you can get caught up. It's really primer for this video, so you make sure you check it out. Also, if you're brand new here and you've not subscribed to the YouTube channel, I would encourage you to subscribe so that you can get all the latest and greatest cruising content coming from Lido Loca. So glad to have you here, and now let's get into it. So yesterday I put out a video where I went through the mental exercise of trying to find a business rationale for why Carnival would do away with free room service. They had to know that people were going to be upset anytime that you take something that was included in the cruise fare and no longer include it. You're going to have angry people on your hands, and that is what we've seen on the internet. Folks everywhere decrying how things keep going down the tubes. They're getting taken advantage of. This is a horrible move. There's like a petition out there. Poor John Heald is fielding all this grief. So I know that the people at Carnival were not unaware that this was going to be the response. So in my mind, I'm like, well, there had to be some sort of reason for it. And I offered those reasons yesterday. I wasn't 100% convinced when I offered those reasons, but now going through all the comments last night, sharing conversations with all you guys out there, I really am convinced that there is a good business reason that will be good for the consumer. And so I just want to address a few of the conversations that I had in the comments last night and over on Facebook at the Lido Loca cruising community. So I'm going to give you 3 topics so you know what's coming your way. All right, the first conversation is going to center around waste and whether, Carnival saying that the goal was to reduce waste is just a straw man, or whether there was some validity to that conversation. Second up, we're going to talk about change again. We talked a little bit yesterday about the psychology of change and how the cruise lines use loyalty programs to affect change without people going away. But I want to talk about change and how it affects smart consumerism today, so stay tuned for that. And the last thing I want to talk about today is whether this perception that multi-billion-dollar consumer-based customer organizations are trying to find ways to screw over the consumer, because that seems to be a common theme out there. So I want to talk about that. All right, number one, was saying that room service waste, was it a valid argument for why they should make this move to make room service for pay instead of for free? I do just want to clear up, I have been on 4 Carnival cruises. I have seen room service waste on every one of those cruises. There was some pushback that there's never any room service waste in the hallway, that I was just making it up. Well, just let me assure you that I have seen room service waste. I get the idea that it does seem like they're trying to put a positive spin on it by saying that it's room service waste. The more I thought about it, the more I engaged last night, this is what I think's happening. Full disclaimer, I don't work for Carnival. I don't have a dog in the hunt. I haven't been in any secret meetings. I don't know why they made this change. This is just me taking my life experience, working in large corporations, working in leadership, making some of these kind of decisions, and trying to figure out what this decision means. So first of all, here's the framework. If we can work inside this framework, I think most people would agree that Carnival positions itself as the lowest fare to get on a cruise ship. That's how they market themselves. They always offer a low price to get people to come on their cruise ships, and then they offer them loyalty perks to try to get people to keep coming on their cruise ships. And so I do not think that they are willing to move away from the position of being the low cost provider. Secondly, the cruise industry is booming. Almost every cruise line is producing new cruise ships with new amenities, better amenities, from entertainment to technology to activity. All these new things are coming out. Carnival has to compete in that arena. Competing in that arena costs money. You have to invest in R&D. You have to invest in implementation. So many things are expensive. Carnival has to compete in that arena. So if you want to raise more money and you don't want to raise the price, the base price to the consumer, you have to look inward and find places where you can reclaim money inside of your business by reducing overall cost. All right, so let's think about room service. It's included in the cruise fare, or it will, at least until the middle of the month. And they're providing as much food as you want. So that's a significant amount of food costs. Let's assume that none of it's ever wasted, that all the food's consumed. It is a huge amount of food cost for the cruise line that they're not getting any return on. And then you couple that with the labor that it takes to bring the food to the room, to take the trays back, to get the dishes washed. It is a big pile of money with nothing coming back in return. Okay, so that's one aspect. We need money. We don't want to raise our fare. Here's a big pile of money that we're not getting any return on. And also, what's a challenge on cruise ships? Waste. A lot of people brought up buffet waste, main dining room waste, and also room service waste. I think what you've seen here is a convergence of two things. We need to make money. We need to find a place where money is being wasted or not used in the best way. And we also need to reduce waste. Now, a troubleshooting technique or a problem-solving technique is when you go to tackle a problem. If you try to tackle the whole problem at one time, it's almost impossible. So when I had teams that had a big problem, they were freaking out about it, I would ask them the simple question, how do you eat the elephant? And the answer is you eat the elephant one bite at a time, and you look for the easiest bite. So think about that in relation to waste. You're not gonna do away with the main dining room. You're not gonna do away with the buffet, but you might be able to do away with room service and help your waste issue. Room service is the easiest lever to pull. There's another cliched term, low-hanging fruit. You look for the low-hanging fruit because those are the easiest things to make the quickest change. The way that this a la carte pricing is, I really think that the goal is for people to use less room service. $4 for a peanut butter and jelly sandwich is a lot, but what's interesting, if we just use the peanut butter and jelly sandwich, in the previous model, peanut butter and jelly sandwich, you had the cost of the peanut butter and jelly sandwich, you had the cost of the person delivering it, you had the cost of retrieving the dishes and washing the dishes, all that. All of that's costing the cruise line money, additional cost. Now they're going to charge enough for a peanut butter sandwich that they can pay the food cost, that they can pay the labor cost, and that they can have extra money to put in the coffers. So they've built a model that's going to pay for itself. So no longer is room service going to be a money sink for them. It's going to be a profit center for them. I 100% believe that this room service change is going to end up with more money for Carnival to use to compete. Now, the whole discussion about whether that money is going to be used just to line the pockets of the rich or actually invest back into their products so that they can be sustainable and bring people back to cruising, that debate rages on. I personally think they're going to use it to improve their business, but I know there's a good part of the population out there that thinks they're just doing it so that they can have nicer cars. I don't know. All right, so second, let's talk about more some of the psychology of change. The other thing that hit me when I was interacting with folks last night, answering comments on Facebook and YouTube, was the amount of people that have a history with Carnival, and they're chronicling how things have gone bad for them, right? We used to get this, now we don't get that. It used to be such a special experience, but now it's not a special experience. And I'm talking about like years and years of things not going well. And so, again, I don't know if it's because of the loyalty program, but I think we need to be better consumers. Here's the bottom line. It is your money. If you are dealing with a company that does not satisfy you in a market where there are a lot of options, then the way that you change what's going on with the company that you're dissatisfied with is you take your money and you go somewhere else. That's how you fix it. If you stay and complain, you're not really doing anything. Oh, but I'm loyal. Look, they're happy that you're loyal, but then you have to accept every change that comes down the pipe. The way that you tell business what you like in the free market is by how you spend your money. If you are dissatisfied, you should go spend that money somewhere else. It's on you. All right, and finally, I just want to talk about this idea that multi-billion-dollar customer-based companies are trying to screw the little man. I heard that over and over. So this is the one that blows my mind. Corporations are made of people. Most people I know aren't out there looking to screw other people over for their own gain. You're going to run into a few, but I've worked with hundreds of people, and most of the people that I worked with are genuinely not like that. To say that a cruise line, multi-billion-dollar corporation full of people has a room full of people somewhere that are coming up with these schemes to screw over the consumer, it's a pretty big leap. I mean, you're basically having to completely dismiss any kind of genuine decency and humanity to come up with that. I understand why people do that. That's really the easiest thing to do. I used to get something for free. Now I don't get something for free. I'm getting screwed over. I am sympathetic. I am as emotional as the next person. And when somebody tells me I used to have something, now I don't, I'm happy to freak out about it. But at some point you have to be logical. It makes no sense for a company that's trying to grow and compete in the cruising market to try to screw people over. They'll lose in the end. And so all I'm saying with all of this is give it a fair shake in your mind. If you are dissatisfied with the cruise line, you have to go do something else. Being dissatisfied and not doing anything is on you. You can only respond to the way that you're treated, and it's up to you to do something else. Those are my points for today. I know that there's probably people that are going to agree, people that are going to disagree. I would love to continue the conversation along in the comments here on YouTube or over on Facebook at the Lido Loca cruising community. And just let me know what you think, because I really think this conversation helps us all kind of move forward in the thought process, and I'm enjoying it. Good conversation, bad conversation, nice people, mean people. It makes the world go round. So I've been enjoying all of it. If you got anything out of this video, please hit the like button. And again, if you're not subscribed to the YouTube channel, you like this kind of content, consider subscribing. Come on over to Facebook to the Lido Loca cruising community. Join the Loca fam, and this conversation's going on over there. Again, I appreciate all you guys. I appreciate all the interaction. My name is Tony, and until the next time, we'll see you on the Lido. Bye.